and welcome to this series of case studies and experiments using PicoScope. That's PicoScope software and also NVH as well, so that's in the Pico Diagnostics software. It really follows cases that I feel no other tool would have got us out of trouble, would have helped us diagnose conclusively what the problem was. In some cases, you don't end up with a diagnosis. You know exactly the depth of repair required, and to actually repair is beyond economical repair. Nevertheless, you've got that evidence that stops those awful incidents happening where it's an awkward discussion or it just becomes a scrap vehicle. In most cases, or it can be that is the case. Okay, so moving on to the second study. This is a Vauxhall Vectra 3.2 litre V6. Engine difficult to start and no fault codes, so not very helpful. What we noticed here though is just look at the scope view 1. I'll bring in the mouse here. We've got prolonged cranking. We've got cranking here for 2 seconds. 2 seconds of cranking doesn't sound long, but on modern vehicles, pretty much within half a second, we're up and running. Sometimes that would be extended much further than or longer than 2 seconds. So in the lower view, scope view 2, I've zoomed in a little bit and we can see now much more of that expanded 2 seconds of data. And I want you to focus on the red waveform channel B and notice the stop-start nature of the current flowing through the starter motor. So what we should have would be seamless current flow, rising and falling in relation to compression. But here we've actually got on and off current flow. It's almost like the starter motor current, main current, is being switched. And when you start switching high current, or considerable current at high frequency, we get a lot of EMI, electromagnetic interference. That then is spread around the engine bay and we get incidents like what we're seeing here. As it so happens, also in the bell housing, of course, aimed at the flywheel, is the crankshaft position sensor. What's happening, this EMI, this electromagnetic interference, is interfering with the crankshaft sensor signal during cranking. And if we look here, on the scope view 2 on the right hand side, I've zoomed in on the area we see in scope view 1. We see that high current switching on and off. It almost looks like pulse width, but just look at what it's done to what should be a nice sine wave in the crankshaft position sensor. We should have this nice sequential even sine wave during cranking so the engine can determine, so the computer can determine engine position. Here we've just got sporadic data. There's no way the engine ECU could determine what engine speed and where the engine is, more importantly. And that's it. That is the awful electromagnetic interference that can knock out sensors like, especially inductive sensors, crankshaft position sensors, or any position sensor for that matter. So what was at fault here? This vehicle had a refurbished starter motor fitted, and there is a coating normally on the commutator. It's called patina coating, and it's placed there to protect from environmental reaction. So they obviously refinish the commutator and then coat it with some kind of protection. If we look here in this image, we can clearly see that we have almost broken patina coating. We have areas of copper, then no areas at all. On some of the segments of the commutator, I'm surprised there was any current flow. There must have been a lot of arcing going on there, and this arcing would generate this EMI. Why was it like this? Well, was it a poor finish to start with? Was it not a well-machined commutator as a refinish? There are numerous possibilities, isn't there? Material properties, maybe the brush tension or brush alignment as well. Nevertheless, it's one of those cases where you have to inform the customer, based on your test results, we need a starter motor. And then the argument you've got is, well, I've just had a new starter motor. And then we get into that he said, she said scenario. Nevertheless, we know, if we just go back one, based on our test results there, we need a new starter motor. And as it so happens, a new replacement cured the issue. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching, and any questions please send them over, and yeah, we'll endeavour to answer them as ever. All right, take care.